Coin press number 1 is the first coin press that pressed a coin at the actually operating Carson City Branch Mint here in Carson City, Nevada. Coin press number 1 arrived in late 1869 and pressed the first coin in February of 1870. For the first 5 years, coin press number 1 was the only coin press here at the Mint. It was eventually joined by a smaller and larger press. 3 presses in all operated at the Carson City Mint for the rest of the history until our closure in 1893. Being the only coin press for the first 5 years put a lot of stress on this machine. And after 8 years of operation in 1878, it developed a crack across the arch on the press. Instead of sending it across the country to the manufacturer in Philadelphia, a machinist from the Virginia and Truckee Railroad came and took a look at it and offered to fix it for somewhere around $800 to $850. That seemed like a good deal at the time. So they took it and they repaired it. However, when they returned the press to the Mint, they had taken off the original manufacturer's nameplate, Morgan & Orr, and they replaced it with theirs. It currently says Virginia and Truckee Railroad, Carson, Nevada, 1878. The replacement of that nameplate on coin press number 1 is a blessing in disguise. When the Mint ceased operating in 1893, the presses remained on property for several years, but by 1899 it was determined that we were no longer going to be a working mint, and the 3 coin presses were spread out throughout other mints in the United States where they were put to use. We don't know where the 2 other presses went. We know coin press number 1 went back to Philadelphia. Later it was changed from steam power into electricity. It's good to note that while operating in Carson City under steam power, coin press number 1 could put out up to 120 coins a minute. That's about 30 times faster than the way we're operating it today for demonstration purposes. Well, it served down in Philadelphia for a number of years until it was needed out in San Francisco. And so, about 1945, coin press number 1 was taken again across the country to San Francisco, California. By 1955 in San Francisco, it was determined that it was no longer needed. It was going to be sold for scrap. Before that happened, a newspaper editor from Oakland, California, took a look at the nameplate and said, "It says Virginia Truckee Railroad, Carson, Nevada. Well, there is a museum there where the Mint used to be. I wonder if they'd like it back." The Mint personnel contacted Judge Guild and his partners who were running the Nevada State Museum and asked if they'd be interested in purchasing it. The press arrived back here in Carson City at the museum around 1958, where it sat on static display for several years. It was destined to travel yet again. In 1964, the makeup of coins changed in the United States, and that contributed to a coin shortage. The folks at the Denver Mint were given the job of solving the problem by creating more coins. The director of the Mint, Eva Adams, was a Nevada native who had visited the coin press at the Carson City Museum. She asked to borrow the machine, and they took the press out to Denver, and the machine put out 118 million coins over the course of 3 years. Not bad for a machine that's almost 100 years old. The machine's now been refurbished and rebuilt, but all of the coin-making apparatuses were taken out before the machine was returned back to Carson City until the Bicentennial approached, and there was a grant involved and a smaller motor put in for demonstration purposes. Since 1976, the press has operated here at the Nevada State Museum, striking commemorative medals that preserve the tradition of the CC Mintmark. Each strike serves not only as a collectible, but as a continuation of the press's original purpose, transforming raw metal into a record of its time. After more than a century and a half, coin press number 1 still does what it was built to do. It still strikes, it still teaches, and it still stands as one of the most significant artifacts in Nevada's history.